This is 433 and beyond. Where we go.
What we collect and what we notice.
That's right. Where we go, what we collect, and what we notice. I'm Andrew. I'm here with my daughter.
Arwen.
What are we going to talk about today,
Today,
Arwen?
we're going to unbox the passport to the American Revolution.
So, this is exciting, right? 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the associated battles and conflicts. And there's many, many sites associated with that. Before we open this, do we know what sites are in here?
I don't. I do think that information is probably available somewhere, although I've been surprised by how little I've been able to find about this.
In this passport are locations associated with the American Revolution. Every site in the national park system, we've been told by our sources, will have an additional cancellation associated with America 250.
Yeah, and that's not unprecedented. There have been other, I believe there were stamps released, cancellation stamps released for the Civil War, 150th anniversary of the Civil War. Sometimes I know, or I believe, things like the Cherry Blossom Festival in DC.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have commemorative things. So it's not unprecedented to have commemorative stamps released. I think this is probably the first time that every stamp in the country supposedly is getting a commemorative stamp, or at least all of the 433, supposedly.
Yeah, I'm just blown away by the logistical intricacies of that, right? Like,
If it works.
Someone somewhere is like ordering and designing and printing a cancellation for, 433 sites.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another example of what government really can do when you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we want to do this? Do we want to...
Well, let's start by saying we ordered the bundle on the National Park Service website, which means it came with these 3 stickers, which, by the way, they're called stickers, not stamps, which is
Confusing.
inconsistent,
Yeah.
but more accurate. So that's interesting.
So I didn't realize these are actually stickers. Where are these supposed to go?
Great question, and we'll come back to that. I would hope that there's a spot in this for these.
Okay. And what are they?
There's one for their ideas, but also pictures of sites. I mean, that's in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We hold these truths. Home of the Brave, famous painting.
Right.
And then the Statue of Liberty, Land of Liberty.
These are nice, actually.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we got the bundle. You can buy the passport separately, and you can buy these stickers separately. But we got them both.
Okay, this is exciting. It's still shrink wrapped.
Still shrink wrapped, so we haven't edited it. Can't get it open though.
Now, one thing to note as I'm doing this is that
What would you like to know?
one thing to note. There we go. How would you describe the size, Arwen?
Inconsistent. It is wider than the classic passport. We don't have it with us, but I believe it might be the same height. I'm not sure, but it's not the same size.
Right, which is going to be a problem right out of the gate. The classic passport, look, they even have a little notch. Well, that's a notch from when I opened it. That's a tooth mark from where I opened it. But that's about the size of the classic passport. And I've added on an extra inch. Passport to the American Revolution is your guide to the national parks that preserve the legacy of America's founding. Here are the sites where heroes made history and created the United States.
You're ready to walk in the footsteps of the first patriots and collect the official America 250 ink cancellation stamps. So that is what we were talking about. But notably, it's obviously not all 433 sites, but
it's a special edition of the best-selling Passport to Your National Parks guidebook. Okay. More than 400 national parks. Look at that.
that's nice.
It's nice, but I mean,
Lawless. Before we even open this, I would say that what I would expect if I was designing this, I would maybe think, okay, I'm going to highlight some locations that are relevant to the revolution, and then I'm going to have a spot where presumably one could put all of your America 250 commemorative cancellations. I don't think that's what we're going to get.
but that does make sense.
But that would be sensible.
Right? And then you could store it next to your collector's edition as you look to collect all your regular national park cancellations and stamps. Here's a little addendum that can go alongside with it.
This commemorative edition comes with a copy of
The
Declaration of Independence. And what's on the back?
On the back is a map.
Oh, are these all the sites that are in this, do you think?
Or are these all the sites? Because the Johnstown Flood National Memorial isn't a Revolutionary War.
So this is labeled as the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, but it appears to just be a map of the National Park Service units, which is a useful thing to have.
I don't think we have this
We don't.
anywhere else, right?
But interesting that it's...
Now, I'm flabbergasted that they'd have the audacity to say that this is the Washington, D.C. area, because we know there's at least 3 times as many as that.
Maybe not 3 times, but a lot, because National Mall and National Capital Parks are doing a lot of heavy lifting on this list. Yeah, and perhaps 3 times as many once you extrapolate those out.
Right? We're going to be talking about that
when we're in
next week
DC.
because we're going to be in D.C. in a week talking about. But this is very nice.
Yeah, a useful document to have.
Here's a map of Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here where the parks are. There's a park in Guam.
Oh.
There's a park in American Samoa.
That's interesting. I see. It's one unit extending across all of the... I was confused by the 3 dots. I thought maybe there were 3 units in American Samoa.
So, very fun.
Confusing.
Confusing that it's in the 250th anniversary.
And that it's labeled that when it appears to just be
the system.
the system, but it's nice to have. Don't get angry with it. Yeah.
There we go.
Good.
Good. So that's
All right,
nice.
off to a good start. A little bit of a confusing start.
Well, confusing because we would like things to be labeled consistently.
I don't think that's a big ask for a passport system.
No.
This keeps
But okay.
shaking every time we move.
Okay.
Okay, good. So immediately, this is familiar to anyone that has a national park passport. I have also been forewarned that it's aged to look like an old notebook. It didn't come dirty.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
This is the same kind of park abbreviations that are in my passport. This little clear flap is the same thing that I have in my passport, presumably for you to put your map in.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Eastern National, that's the company that does the regular passport. This coincides with the American Revolution, or the anniversary, which also coincides with Ken Burns's new American Revolution documentary, which I think is why he's here.
We haven't watched that yet.
We haven't watched that yet. This is interesting. They say the passport program includes a series of books, ink cancellation, and commemorative stickers. So somebody said we have to stop calling these stamps.
Yeah, well, probably someone watched our channel. Look at all this cool stuff here. The Junior Ranger, we haven't talked much about that. What are these?
Those are extra stickers so that you can get stamps if you're not with your passport.
Oh, right. That's what you have. This is what we have.
Yes. And that's the Explorer edition.
The binder edition, yeah.
For several years before and after July 4th, 2026, America will be celebrating its semi-quincentennial. This new edition is perfect for planning your visits to American Revolution sites and for saving your memories after you've left. We'll see about that.
The story of nearly 50 historic sites. So I think we're getting the sense that this isn't going to be all for it.
No.
But let's see how they define the sites and what they allow for. This makes it look like you can get...
Well, that they have more than one spot per location, which is great and not consistent with one of our complaints with the other passport.
Yeah, like this actually looks kind of nice.
I bet we're going to see that. All right. 13 colonies. Featured states. So I guess this is kind of helping us narrow in on what they want us to look at. That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
So they're saying these are the states we're going to look at. I wonder if the color coding is
what's
regional?
They got to do about Kentucky in the Revolutionary War?
We're going to find out.
One of the questions you had to prepare for in the citizenship exam was to memorize the 13 original colonies, which I did do. And I kept forgetting one of the little ones, Jersey or Delaware.
Sorry.
And it turns out the question didn't come up in my interview. And I said, I spent all this time memorizing those. And the woman said, when we asked you that, you just have to come up with 2 of them.
They don't make that clear in the study guide.
No, they say you need to know all of them. And then the question is just name 2. Well, that's easy. Pennsylvania and
New York.
New York, yeah.
My assumption on this color coding would be that those are the way they're going to define regions in this passport, because many of these states would be in different regions in the regular passport.
Yep, that makes sense.
So that's my assumption looking at this. Let's see if it's true. Okay. A timeline.
Passage of the Stamp Act,
Mm-hmm.
not the Sticker Act.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is nice.
This is nice.
This gives some context.
Although I wish it was in the context of where they want you to go. I wish it was a timeline integrated with the locations.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. You have a map.
Or if, I'm going to look at the end of the 7 Years' War, the passage of the Stamp Act, and then here's after the Boston Tea Party, for example, I want a stamp. The next page should be Boston. That's what I long for.
That's sparking a thought that I need to go get a book from the bookshelf. Okay. So this is a different conflict, a different arena. But what you said made me think about how to show location, time, and some other piece of information on a single view. So this is by Edward Tufte, the visual display of quantitative information. This shows location, time, and the size of Napoleon's army coming in and out of Russia. So something that's asking a lot of the National Park Service.
Right.
But
it sparks an idea.
Just a bit of a tangent. But those are the kinds of things that this view calls to mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
good.
I don't think we're saying the National Park Service needs to
do that.
But we might do that. And it's an interesting thing to think about when you're thinking about how you want to experience your National Park Service adventures. So we have our timeline.
The timeline, yeah.
Certainly spend some more time looking at this.
Independence
So we
declared.
have lead into war, independence declared.
The AG I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that
Because
too.
I'm seeing this is on the shelf next to everything else.
Yes.
Which
But it
is hard
won't-
to do when it's not the same
Yeah, it
size.
won't quite be next to it, will it?
Into
Like, I would think that a shock at Saratoga should be next to stamps.
Yeah, whereas you've got Napoleon going in and out of Moscow, you've got easy identification of the East Coast and all of the major New York and Boston.
They've already done that before this, but it wasn't correlated to the events.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes here. So our timeline goes until 1789 is our last item on here. It goes through Washington's inauguration.
Yeah, so that's a nice
What's the first thing in the timeline?
chunk of time.
So the
lead
timeline
in.
starts in 1763 with the end of the 7 Years' War
Yeah,
through Washington's inauguration. It'd be interesting to have a suggested reading list of books in this.
it would be, right? Because that makes a lot of sense to have the end of the... Because at that point, France wasn't really a player in the colonies anymore.
At the end of the 7 Years' War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so then I was correct that it's regional, those colors on that map,
Okay.
which is consistent. This is almost consistent with the way the other passports are set up, not quite formatting-wise, which is okay with me, but maybe not okay with you.
What do you think about the map itself?
It's consistent.
Is it helpful?
Sure.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's smart to break it up into regions in some kind. I mean, otherwise the map would be more overwhelming.
Right. They are, they seem very interested in describing what the type of site is, whether it's a national monument, national
Historic site.
historic site, a national site,
I think so.
right?
I think that is also consistent and probably like...
Because we find that very interesting, but I wondered to the regular user of this whether they care. But,
And I think those distinguishing... I think it doesn't necessarily actually tell you a ton about what you're going to experience at the site. It's not like every time you go to a national monument, it's going to look like a statue of Abraham Lincoln. You know, a national monument can mean a lot of different things. A national historic site can mean a lot of different things.
I wonder what would happen if we were to look at the locations listed here under Northern Region Park against the full list of actual Northern Region.
I mean, we can do that.
Would you expect these to be the same, or would you expect this to be a subset?
I would expect it to be a subset. We can...
Let's do a quick check.
So, I want
Is there actually a Northern Region?
the North Atlantic is the closest, I think.
Okay, so that's something to know right there, is that these are not the same regions as...
No, that's why I mentioned it before.
Yeah.
It's different. So right away we see that this is a subset of this. We have New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. Interestingly, all of those states are on here, but it appears as though only Massachusetts and New York are actually on the checklist. That's irritating to me. Why would you have, say, Connecticut on this map and not here?
Right. It's not red, it's just... It's still
Yes,
like
it is.
no-
Connecticut is red.
Oh, Connecticut is red. Well, so what?
So that is frustrating to me. Unless there's a Connecticut list later, but it doesn't look like there's any Connecticut parks.
No, there's no Connecticut parks.
Okay, well that
But we know that's not true, right? We know...
also, that's frustrating to me. So anyway, we know automatically that it's a subset. But here's the collector's edition passport. Adams, Boston. So anyway.
So this is a subset of the actual
Yes.
parks.
Which makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. It's quite frustrating that they just call it Northern Region and not Northern Atlantic Region.
Yeah, it would not be difficult to have done that and then just highlight on here New York and Massachusetts so far I'm most irritated by the fact that Connecticut is red on that map, because clearly they don't feel the need to put Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine in red, despite being part of the northern region.
Yeah.
So that's it's a little frustrating.
Okay, now here, so this is the thing. So let's say you go to Adams National Historic Park in Quincy, Massachusetts. Got a nice little blurb.
And it's a blurb relevant to the American Revolution. It's not the same blurb in the passport.
No space for a sticker.
None.
3 spaces for cancellations.
So different automatically from what we have here.
I mean, maybe better.
Maybe better. Arguably better for a cancellation collector.
It is confusing what you're supposed to do with any of your stickers.
Yeah. And it remains to be seen if there's going to be a spot for these.
We haven't seen one yet.
Haven't seen one yet. I like multiple spots for cancellations. I understand. I think an automatic argument to why you shouldn't do that in the collector's edition is that it would become unsustainably big of a book. But that feels like not my
That's not your problem.
issue.
I think they need volumes. They need a volume per region.
I think that would solve a lot.
If you are in an ecosystem that has multiple cancellations, multiple stamps per location, you need a page for your cancellations. I would argue, and this is going to be confrontational, I don't need a historical blurb on this page. That's not why I bought this book.
Well, I would say in this book, it's more sensible than in the collector's edition passport.
Yeah, but I would put all of that. I would put the history. This is just me now being a bit cantankerous. When I'm on the page for stamping things, I don't need a blurb telling me where I am.
Sure. I feel like for this one, you should have the blurb. I think in the collector's edition, you should not, because in the collector's edition, we could really use the space for more than one passport.
Yeah.
Here, if you're going to put Adams National Historic Park in this special 50 locations only passport, you should tell me why.
All right, and then
That's how I
I'm just going to get one stamp anyway.
Well, collect official Adams National Historic Park cancellation suit. I mean, that label
I think
is
my
a little
rule
bit irritating.
for this is I'm only going to get the one that says 250 on it in this book. Nothing else belongs in here. I'm just seeing a page which doesn't have maybe has the blurb but not the picture, or the picture but not the blurb. I'd rather have the blurb and an extra line for cancellations, but it's a very good thing that they've got 3 cancellation spots.
It is. I agree. Stories, so little supplemental
Nice.
readings. Yeah, fine with that.
You could put more of these and fewer of this.
Sure.
Let's see what we get to. Do you want to flip through to the end?
Yeah. Well, let's see what the other... I mean, they're labeled on every page with the state and the location. That's inconsistent, but maybe that's fine. So the other regions appear to be set up similarly. Again, we have like a state like Ohio and West Virginia highlighted on the map, but not actually part of the checklist.
Yeah, that's very weird.
That's
isn't it?
bizarre and irritating. We could get some of these DC ones when we're in DC next week.
We should. We will.
Should we bring this then?
Yeah, we should. Now, it's nice that these have, because in the collector's edition, there isn't.
Yes, there is. For these ones, there are.
For these ones, there are.
I mean, DC is its own beast because of the number of
Yeah.
locations encompassed by one national park site.
Does Constitution Gardens have its own line in the...
Constitution Gardens does have its own line. We'll talk more about this when we're in DC. Constitution Gardens is an example where, like, within Constitution Gardens, there's more than one. Or maybe, I think it's Constitution Gardens, where you can get... Yes, because there's a Constitution Garden stamp and there is a memorial to the signers of the Declaration of Independence
Stamp.
But it's part of Constitution Gardens.
Yeah.
So it's its own, I feel, it's difficult to figure out where to draw that line. It's commemorating a different location within or a specific location
I think
within.
you need all of them, and I think you need a book that allows you to capture all of them.
Yeah.
But then in
And you
here,
could
there's something
here.
that says Constitution Garden 250. I don't know why you would put a stamp in here that's not part of the 250 celebration.
Then why are there 3?
Well,
I mean, because I don't think they've released a 250th anniversary version for Constitution Gardens and for the Memorial of the Declaration of Independence.
no, and even if they had, many of these just have the one.
Well, so we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. We'll come back for our DC video and we'll talk about that. So, consistently, several of these little stories of the American Revolution. That's interesting.
Nice.
We can try to go to some of these Pennsylvania ones as well. I should go back to Valley Forge, where it all began.
That's right.
This is I guess it's still a story. It's about these stories of the American Revolution kind of vary in what their topic area is. Southern region, same problem with the...
Are they really I guess I just don't know anything about the Revolutionary War. I didn't think Florida was even a state.
Well, we're going to learn. It's bothersome to me that Arkansas is included here, not noted here, and does have a stamp. So if you flip to this and you're in Arkansas, you'd think, oh, there's no...
Yeah. I'm not clear on the rationale behind which states are included. Like, Fort Sumter is not a Revolutionary War site.
Well, let's see what they say. Is Fort Moultrie?
I don't know, but I mean...
Well, conveniently, this is why they include those little blurbs, I guess.
I'm revealing my ignorance on the...
I know. Yeah.
Sullivan's Island. Bombarded there, but I don't think it was called Fort Sumter.
Well, maybe it wasn't, but that is the site on Sullivan's Island.
Okay. See, we learned something already.
Right? Good thing we have
Hey,
those
look at that.
blurbs.
That looks like the Washington Monument.
Hey, look at that. South Carolina. All right. Beyond the National Park Service.
Okay.
This is interesting. You could spend a lifetime learning about the American Revolution. Here are a few sites outside of the National Park Service where you can discover more. That's interesting.
Do they have a sticker for Boston Tea Party Museum in this book? I didn't see
A
one.
sticker? No.
A stamp, a cancellation.
No, they don't, because that's not a National Park Service site. This is how, pushing on the limits of what the National Park Service can do.
So they're referencing it, but they don't have a spot in the book for the...
No, they're not encouraging you to get unauthorized stamps. Because I feel confident that, I haven't looked this up, but I would think that the Boston Tea Party Museum has a stamp.
And what
But maybe not.
I would get my classic edition,
Mm-hmm.
and I would put that stamp right in.
Where would I put it in my collector's edition?
You're
I'm up against a
hard place there. You have the benefit of having a place for everything, but not
and
everything.
nothing
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
This is an interesting
Yeah, these are nice.
list.
The additional
You know
stuff
how I
is
feel
just-
about this. So there are many pages back here. We have 1 spread, 2 spreads, 3 spreads for additional passport cancellations and stickers. Putting the label on 3 times is a waste of ink and space.
I think
Uncalled
also
for.
referring to stickers when it's not just additional stickers, it's any stickers.
Right. Well, yeah, especially if you're treating this as a...
If you're approaching this the same way that you're approaching your passport, then I would say there is no place for a sticker. This is not a place for a sticker.
No, of course not. Well, these aren't this one is
No, but I'm
location
assuming
specific
they're
because
the
it's
same
Statue of
size,
Liberty.
right?
But like Home of the Brave isn't a location. It's
No,
a
but
theme.
these also are stamp
Oh, yeah.
shaped
No, they're not.
spaces.
This isn't even touching the fact that they're called stickers in this book.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Presumably anywhere I go and get a 250th anniversary stamp, I want to put in this book.
A stamp. Yeah. Yeah.
A cancellation.
Absolutely.
So if I go to Congaree, if we go to Shenandoah and we want to get American 250th, the anniversary stamps,
Yep.
cancellations that are being distributed, they should go in here,
That's right, because every location has a stamp.
theoretically.
This is for the sites that have a connection to the Revolution.
Yeah. This,
Which is a great idea. I just wonder aside from being able to say that every one of these selected stamps is in this book, but not in my passport.
what do you mean?
I'm trying to determine the rule for what goes in here
American 250th commemorative anniversary material.
for
I
these
think.
locations or for any of them.
I think for any. Because, and here's why. I'm not going to go to 433 units this year. I'm not going to get every commemorative stamp. I think my
Right.
passport should be in the spirit of completing my national park travel goals.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why I'm struggling so much with these Valley Forge stickers, because I don't know that I'm going to get this for all 433 units. So putting it in the passport feels strange to me.
They might not even exist for you to get.
They might not even exist for me to get.
So if we go to Shenandoah,
Mm-hmm.
Shenandoah National Park has 2 visitor centers, each that say Shenandoah, and then Meadowfields and
Mm-hmm.
whatever the other one is called. I want both of those,
Okay.
which I'm going to put in my passport.
Okay.
There's also likely going to be a 250 Shenandoah National Park.
Yeah.
You're saying that should go in,
I think so.
even though Shenandoah is not in here.
It's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that my instinct is yes.
So you could end up with only a handful of these spots actually stamped.
I mean, unless we really change our plan for the year, yes.
Right. And then 50
Sure.
between DC, Shenandoah, Philadelphia, 250 stamps here. Just higgledy-piggledy.
Or maybe you put them in your passport. The collector's edition, though, I'm already having a problem.
I don't think the America 250 stamps belong in the collector's edition.
So then they belong in here.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to that.
You have a year. For the record, these stamps are the same size as your regional annual release stickers, which has made me realize that these Valley Forge stickers are not quite. It's a tiny bit. These are a tiny bit bigger. They're the same width, but my Valley Forge stickers are a tiny bit. Maybe not. Well, a minuscule amount, which is even worse than it being. Maybe they're the same.
No,
No, they're
the border there is a border's length lower than the.
no, because this. Well, it's not important, but I can't open that.
There you go.
So
Right.
that is the passport. There are also field notes and journal pages, which I'm not sure what to make of this.
A trip log.
I suppose it's
I
3
went to
pages.
Washington, D.C. on January 10th, 2026.
Yeah, you could do that.
I could see people taking.
I think the last 10 pages of this book should have been just blank for use as you see fit. I think the National Park System, or the passports in particular, part of their problem is that they have labeled things to be used in a certain way. They've indicated you should put 3 stamps per each of the locations in this passport. And then there are not 3 stamps that make sense to put there. They've indicated that you should put 1 stamp per location in the collector's edition. And there's more than one. Had they just left those blank to fill as you see fit,
Yeah.
we wouldn't
Yeah.
be in- So I think labeling those last pages is a systemic issue that these passports have.
So with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
what's your verdict on the 250 passport?
Like, what do I think of it?
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Good, helpful.
Ultimately, good, because I think it will encourage people to go
Yeah.
to places they wouldn't go.
I give it a thumbs up because it's a time box.
Mm-hmm.
2026 is going to have the... Now, if it gets to be 1 minute past midnight in 2027 and you can go to one of these sites and get that 250th anniversary stamp,
Yeah.
I'm going to march into the Capitol in Washington, D.C. with this in my hand, and I'm going to say, we have put up with a lot.
This is unacceptable.
This suggests that someone's not paying attention.
Yeah. Where should these go?
In the back, I guess. Where else should they go? These might be the only stickers that are available to go.
I mean, they better be, frankly, because
in the additional passport cancellation and stickers. These might be the only ones that go there.
well, if individual sites have 250th anniversary stickers released, that's going to irritate me because then there should be a spot
There
on
should
the
be.
location page for that.
And there is. It's just the
Well,
wrong size.
I don't think that's meant to be for the stamps.
Yeah.
I think that's meant to just be a picture.
Yeah, it's poorly. So that's going to be a problem. So on the pro side, it's great to have a thematically organized book. That's something we've talked about.
Yeah,
like
thematically organized books
Revolution.
we should have.
It'd be great to have a regional book. It'd be great to have a Civil War book, right? So this is the right way to be thinking about this.
Yes.
It's great to recognize that there's more than one cancellation per location. But it's poor to say that there are 3.
It's poor to say that there are 3, especially in this context. And another pro, though, is already we've demonstrated that it can teach you that sites are related to things. Like you said Fort Sumter wasn't part of the
I know.
Revolutionary. You know, it can
I was hoping you
reveal
would edit that
things.
out so it wouldn't...
You want me to? It can reveal things that you didn't know before,
Yep.
and that's great.
Yeah.
But
So, thumbs up.
Thumbs
Whoever
up.
is responsible for this on the editorial team in the national park.
thanks for doing it. Give us a call, though.
You'll have to find out. There's no names. But we'll find out who's responsible and we'll get them on in a future.
Yeah, future episode.
And if you're watching this, which you might be because you've got a
Google alert.
RSS feed coming in for anything to do with national park passports, call Arwen.
Yeah, give me a ring. All right. See you next time.